Well, howdy from Fort Worth, Texas. This is StabtheDragon with episode number 58. Here for the special Independence Day weekend whiskey review number 32. As I've done for the past 11 months, I'm presenting a patriotic whiskey on this patriotic holiday. Today we're going to be looking at Leadslingers Minuteman Single Malt American Whiskey. I've given this whiskey a total score of 67. Letter grade, C+. My letter grades go a little bit higher than my total score. My recommendation. This whiskey is really so mild, so subtle, that it is almost a nothing drink. Now the 90 proof saves it, but all in all, I could recommend this to only two kinds of people. One, someone who is new to drinking, who doesn't want strong flavors to scare them off, because this is very gentle, even at 90 proof. Or two, if you're interested in drinking something from Oklahoma, then this whiskey might be for you. It's Scissortail Distillery, where this is from in Moore, Oklahoma, is the only distillery that I am aware of in Oklahoma, and I'm from Oklahoma. And Leadslingers, Scissortail makes a few proprietary things, but they are mainly Leadslinger spirits, okay? And so that's the only whiskey that I'm aware of from Scissortail, and they make, 5 or 6, 7 different liquors. So, they're pretty diverse. But this whiskey just doesn't have much to offer. Neither does it have anything bad going on. The bottle's really cool, though. I mean, I really like the label and the bottle, but what's inside? Pretty bland. Let's get into the details. First of all, we always look at the history. In 2013, the owners of Article 15 Clothing, which includes Matt Best and 6 of his military veteran buddies, decided to start a whiskey company. Now, these guys, they're veterans from the Ranger. Matt Best was an Army Ranger. There's Green Beret involved, 82nd Airborne guy. I think there's a Marine, Air Force Special Ops guy. So, we're talking the finest America has to offer there from the veteran community. And they decided, as owners of Article 15, which is a military clothing company, they wanted to start a whiskey company. And so that's where Leadslingers whiskey came from. I found only one review for this particular whiskey online, and it was on a YouTube channel, but nothing written. I can't find any information about it. You go to the Leadslingers whiskey website, and this whiskey's not even mentioned on their own website. So I don't know what to do there, okay? There's no write-ups about it. It's in the category of what I call a mystery whiskey. The bottle tells me that it was distilled in Moore, Oklahoma by Scissortail Distillery, so that's good information. It's not sourced from anywhere. It's actually distilled in Moore. I've previously reviewed on this channel Leadslingers Fighting Spirit Rye, which is, I might add, one of my favorite ryes. It's a very good rye, and it's also at 90 proof. And there's a few reviews for the rye. The ryes don't get the respect they deserve. Now, there are a lot of reviews of the Leadslingers bourbon, but only there one review of this single malt and no written. So, I don't know. Matt Best he's probably best known for the Black Rifle Coffee Company, right? And I see their advertisements online quite a bit. I've never tried any Black Rifle coffee. I would like to at some point. He's done some funny music videos as well as He's authored this book, right? Thank you for my service. That's Matt Best right there. So I've got his book. Hope to read it soon. I think he's done some music videos as well. But I don't think he's just put himself all in for this whiskey. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm just not sure why. So for history, only 2 points out of 5. Marketing, bottle, and packaging. This bottle is rectangular. It's clear. It's got a really nice patriotic style label that I find attractive. It's got a rubber stopper. All in all, it's a decent looking bottle. It says batch distilled, handcrafted, which is gobbledygook. It means nothing. Leadslingers Spirits, established 2013. Small batch spirits, founded by veterans. This is 90 proof, 45 ABV, 750 milliliter bottle. On the back, Leadslingers Spirits proudly presents Leadslingers Minuteman, distilled in the heartland of America. This single malt American whiskey offers subtle hints of toffee and malt in a mellow presentation that is sure to impress. Just as the bold and heroic colonial Minutemen were cornerstones to the founding of the great nation, we hope Leadslingers Minutemen is a cornerstone to your whiskey choices. Product of the USA, veteran owned, distilled by Scissortail Distillery, product of Moore, Oklahoma. And then it's got the government warning label and all that. So there's the bottle. I've seen no advertisements for this, and again, I already talked about the reviews. Nothing out there. But the bottle weighs heavily for me. I mean, really cool label, cool bottle. So 3 points out of 5 there. Composition. This is 750 milliliter bottle and 45 ABV, 90 proof, single malt. So it is 100% malted barley. So there's your mash bill. However, there is no age statement given. No information about the size of the barrel, how long was in the barrel, no idea where the barley comes from. Is this Oklahoma barley? Is this Minnesota barley, Canada barley? Who knows? Nothing. Okay, so again, a lot of mystery here. We do know where it's distilled, Moore, Oklahoma, by the Scissortail Distillery. And Matt Best is the owner, he and his fellow veterans. But so composition, only 11 points out of 15. Appearance. Well, let's do a pour and look at this in the glass, because the there, got it open. Okay, in the glass, what we see here, it's a yellow, pale gold color. It's really pretty light. This is a very light color. The legs are not real rich looking, and they're just a little bit, but not a whole lot going on there. This is resembles to me something like maybe Cuddy Sark or J&B, a light budget Scotch blend. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So appearance, I tend to prefer darker whiskeys, so this is only going to be a 2 out of 5 points. Now for the nosing. It's a very light honey smell, maybe. Only the lightest malt smell there. It's light. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, my nose is just not very good. I'm not a good sniffer, okay? So I tend to give 7 out of 10 for most whiskeys, because I give it the benefit of the doubt, right? So 7 out of 10. But now for the all-important tasting. Now this is a pleasant taste. I mean, there's nothing bad there. In fact, today I'm picking up more than I was the first couple of times I tasted this. I drank this yesterday and actually did my scoring yesterday, but today I'm actually getting more. And this is not unusual. As you can see in the bottle, I've now gone down just a little bit, and frequently when you do that, the interaction of the air with the whiskey changes things, and right now that taste was the best taste of this whiskey that I've had. And this would be my, at least my third drink, maybe fourth. Yeah, I'm going to say this is definitely improved overnight since yesterday. It's still it's mildly sweet, a little bit of a honey flavor, but now I'm getting some touches of cinnamon. Nothing strong coming out. This is all going to be pretty subtle, pretty mild. Yesterday I would have said this was lighter in flavor than Cutty Sark, but now I really think this has improved since yesterday. And this is important for evaluating a whiskey. Never ever just make a quick judgment off of a neck pour. You know, like I said, this is at least the third drink over a couple of weeks. I bought this 2 weeks ago, and it may be the fourth, but this is the best drink out of what I've had so far, definitely. So I'm seeing some improvement here. It's still very mild. It's hardly discernible as a whiskey, but you know, today it's better. There's no offensive ethanol flavor, but the 90 proof in this thing helps it, I think. I mean, if this was an 80 proof, I hesitate to think about that. But it's 90 proof, and that proof comes through in a positive manner. So this is not nothing negative here at all. I'm not getting any wood flavor, no char, nothing like that. And the malt funk that you would normally get with like another malted American whiskey is so far in the background. It's just very light. So really I'm getting a little bit more of the cinnamon stuff here. I didn't get any of that before. So a mouth tingle after about 3 sips is reminding you that, hey, this is a whiskey. So I'm going to up my score here to 11 of 15, or no, on the taste. I scored it as a 19 yesterday. I'm going to up that to a 20. There you go. Now, so that's taste. 20 out of 25 is my tasting score. Mouthfeel finish. It's a very light mouthfeel. It's not very viscous at all. And again, it's 90 proof, so I'm thinking this is young. It's not real oily, just very light mouthfeel. It does have that 90 proof kick to it in a positive way. The alcohol punch is about right for a 90 proof, and which I like. Now, some people really don't want to go to even to 90 proof, and I get that. But for me, I like a slight burn. You know, it gets up in the sinuses just a little bit. But again, nothing harsh at all. No ethanol. It's just a gentle burn that reminds you, hey, I'm a whiskey. Now, there's not much of a finish, no lingering flavors, other than just a little bit of the tingle that's lingering a little bit. There's no Kentucky hug at all. The flavors are so mild. Maybe just a hint. Yeah, I think today there's a hint of sweetness on a finish that I wasn't getting before. Nothing offensive, but there's just not much to write home about. So again, I think this has improved. to an 11. Yesterday I rated it as a 10. I'm seeing improvement today, so that's encouraging, and that's a teaching point, by the way. So never evaluate a whiskey too quickly. You got to give it time. Now let's talk about price, value, and availability. Specs had this at $33.67, and that's where I bought it. Total Wine, not available. Goody Goody, not available. Now, for a craft distillery product, $33.67. Yeah, that's actually a good price. That's pretty good. For the quality of this whiskey, it's on target. You know, again, you're not going to be writing home about this. But today, you know, it's much improved. So I'm going to say $33.67 is on target for the price. So that's a good value. But availability is where it's going to hurt. You know, with only one of my liquor stores that I go to here in Fort Worth, yeah, that it's not real available. It's not on the website. So, man, I don't know what to tell you there. So, 7 out of 10 for price, value, and availability. Is this a neat drink or a mixer? Up to 5 points. This is definitely a neat drink. Okay. I think it would be lost in a cocktail. There is just not enough flavor here. Even today, now that I'm getting some flavor from it, I think this would be utterly, completely lost in a cocktail. Unless all you want is some alcohol and a Coke or Sprite. This would probably go well, actually, in a 7-Up or Sprite. Okay? And I don't know enough about other cocktails, but I think if you put this in you know, some other cocktail, it's just going to be lost. You're not going to get any flavor. Cocktails are supposed to keep the flavor of the whiskey as well as give you the other flavors there, you know, and this would be lost. So this is, I think, a neat only drink unless you just want alcohol, you know, cover it up in a 7-Up or something. So I'm going to say 3 out of 5 points for neat or mixer. Bonus points. Now this is coming out of Oklahoma, and that's my homeland. Okay, that's where I grew up. I went to school at Norman, University of Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, and all that. And Moore, Oklahoma is just 30 minutes north of Norman. So I really like the fact that this is veteran-owned. I'm a veteran. They contribute to veteran causes. I think Matt Best is a hoot. If you've ever watched his videos, I mean, just, you know, a marketing genius. I want to try Black Rifle Coffee and all that. I love his commercials, for sure. But this whiskey is a mystery whiskey. It's a ghost whiskey. There's just not much information there. And so the taste is not strong enough. So I'm going to say bonus points only 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 bonus points. So my total points, I'm going to up this to a 69, right? Because it was better today than it was yesterday when I first, well, I didn't first taste it yesterday, but that's when I did this review for myself yesterday. So this whiskey has improved. So letter grade, still a C+ though, okay? Still a C+. Recommendation, this is a tough one. You know, I was so impressed with the Leadslingers Fighting Spirit Rye, and I really like this bottle. I like the veteran emphasis here. I'm from Oklahoma. I think naming your distillery Scissortail Distillery is pretty cool. A scissortail flycatcher is the state bird of Oklahoma. Okay, now you know. But this whiskey is so mild, subtle, and mysterious, it's almost a nothing drink. Almost. The 90 proof saves it, and once you get down a little bit, I think it starts having a better flavor. Yeah, that's definitely better than yesterday. So all in all, my recommendations stick. If you're new to drinking, and you don't want strong flavors to be scaring you off, this would be okay for that, even though it's 90 proof. And if you're interested in drinking something from Oklahoma, definitely, yeah, definitely try this. Okay, and I am including these Oklahoma whiskeys from Leadslingers in my Texas evaluation series that I'm doing, and I'll include them in my Texas tournament that I'm going to do late fall, probably winter of this year when I work my way through all these Texas whiskeys I've got. I'm going to include these Leadslingers whiskeys in that. So I'll probably get the bourbon later on this year. Yeah. So anyway, recommendation. Hey, if you like patriotic whiskeys, though, if you want to support veterans, here you go. Make that a third category. And this is a very cool bottle. I know we don't buy whiskeys just for the bottle, but there's nothing offensive here at all. So I'm going to say, participation award here to Matt Best and Company, but they need to, I think this is a young whiskey is the main problem with this. And I think if they left it in the barrel for a while longer, that they might have something here. Because there's the basics here are good. Okay, it's just too mild. Well, that does it for today. Bit of a disappointment perhaps for StabtheDragon for Independence Day weekend, but hey, this is a great weekend. Celebrate America. Pray for our country. Remember that your freedoms came from those who had the courage to forge a new nation and then fight for it. Freedom is never free. Blood, sweat, and tears. Lives were lost through the over 200 years to preserve our freedom. Now, if you drink this weekend, be responsible. Don't drink and go swimming or boating or driving. StabtheDragon, out here.